Hello everybody, it is me Darcy. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Unnamed Podcast, where I sit here with this guy for about a time and we talk rubbish, but mainly we have a good time. We're here for a good time, not a long time, but also a long time.
Have fun.
Exactly. Anyway, as we often do, let's get started with a little bit of channel news. So,
Always
Kris,
fun.
take it away.
Okay, so on Monday, it was the next part of Satisfactory.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one we did last time?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So this is when I was starting the coal power station, or the bigger platform for it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
I'm trying to get that up and running.
Mainly in this episode, it was actually just a lot of backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
So
I think the last one we actually recorded was less backwards and forwards, but that's because I set some stuff up.
yeah, so this obviously is a two-part film. We always do these larger ones in two parts. It's just easier on us. So the first part, which came out on Monday, that has a lot of us getting ready. So doing a lot of
Preparation.
well, more like research. We managed to advance quite a bit. In stuff that we needed to advance to so that we could continue on.
Yes.
We're kind of at a point now in Satisfactory where it's like, as I've said in the past, we now need to start focusing away from our bases and stuff like that. And I don't think it was this one. Might have been this one. I definitely built a vehicle. No, it's definitely the second one.
Yeah.
Because that's when my Explorer comes in. But we're now at a point where we can actually push the boundaries a little bit more. I have my own stuff happening research-wise. Kris is trying to get our power sorted because
we're about to take a bigger jump where
we
need a lot of power.
Yeah, I do mention this while I was in this episode, but I have actually been doing quite a bit of Satisfactory, not recording, just like cleaning things up and doing bits and pieces.
The boring stuff.
Yeah, and I was in there after we filmed this, and the power crashed about 6 or 7 times. So yeah, we're now at a point where we need to increase our power supply. So that's kind of what Kris has been working on.
Yes.
I've constantly just been doing what I do, which is
either research or exploring.
Yeah, pretty much finding new stuff and kind of pushing our research along faster. Trying to get to a point so that we can actually do the things we need to do. With minimal heartache and suffering, because there is a lot of boring bits, pretty much.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, we need to do this, but we just can't do it because we don't have the stuff, or the resources required to actually do it, like to run some of the stuff that we do need, is just massive. So
we're currently at a bit of a standstill where we are. You can research, but until I sort some stuff out, progressing further in the actual story or the story, it's not going to happen until that's sorted out, which involves me making more of a mess at the base.
We're also at the point where we need to stop making a mess of the base, though, because the truth is, the base, like our starting point, because we were never efficient starting off, is now so incredibly cluttered, and it's like we don't even have that much stuff actually happening there. It's just because there was no rhyme or reason when we were starting off. We were just trying to get things done fast. It's now so cluttered that it's like, I think it's really
I feel like that's something we may have to do off screen, just relocating everything, moving it around.
Yeah, it's definitely stuff we have to do off screen, but mainly it is something worth talking about quickly here, so you understand we will probably do that off, or we'll literally just record one that we just call the cleaning episode. It'll be a super quick edit. It'll literally just be us at base fixing things. Because I do a bit of stuff off screen. I try not to progress anything. That's the big one. But at the same time, like if it's something that we've talked about, then I'll do it. So when we jump in next time, you guys will see stuff has changed, but nothing
major.
bit major, but nothing that we haven't already
fine.
discussed doing. It's just like, okay, so to give you a kind of quick breakdown, what I've done took me 4 hours to do in game because it was just a lot of backwards, slowly going, walking a straight line pretty much. I was walking a straight line, then having to go back, walk another straight line, having to go back, and just constantly keep doing that to get this to work. So it wasn't worth watching, but it was long. It took me 4 hours to do. So it's not like it was a short thing which we could do in a video because of the time frame, but it was also something that needed to be done. So
yes.
But I don't know, for this for the cleanup, we might actually do that in
Its own thing.
in a film. Like, we'll just say, hey, this is the cleanup one, and that way we'll just sit and chat, and
Yeah, that way you just get
it won't be advanced. It'll be all
won't be
around
a
the
sudden
base.
change for you guys. It'll just be the
And it'll be a more chill session for me and Kris, as I said. Just kind of just chatting, not really a satisfactory. Just literally, hey, this needs to happen. Okay, blah blah, and then just chatting.
Yeah.
So kind of like the podcast where we just talk rubbish and our own stuff. It'll be like that, except we'll be playing Satisfactory at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that might be the easiest way to do it. Otherwise, because I was actually thinking about just doing it myself, but the problem is that for a lot of this stuff, it's a 2-person job because you've kind of got to monitor everything whilst you're doing it.
Yeah.
And make sure that you're actually fixing things in the right order, placing things where they need to go. But as I said, probably one of the biggest issues we have right now is the fact that because we're so inefficient at our base, we have a whole... We're only making about 6 or 7 things there that we actually need.
Yeah, that'd be about right.
And it takes up that whole area.
Yes.
So by sorting that out, we can literally...
And some of it can be streamlined because there's just too much of a gap between them.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times that gets done so that we don't have to... Because when we are slower, it's more of a pain if we've got to go backwards and forwards over longer distances, which is why the concrete has such a long line to get it closer. Which I don't know if... I'm thinking we leave that one there. Yeah, that's actually not bad because it's still off to the side.
Look, the big point is though, the distance, because if you've watched, I don't know if it was in this one or the next one, we actually discussed this while we're playing, and the big thing is that distance on the conveyor belts is bad. You will kind of want those conveyor belts to be as short as possible. So the concrete's not too bad because the only thing that's I think is long away from it is the storage. Yeah, and it's like, so it's not like it's going into another machine.
Yeah, because all I did was put the storage further away because I didn't want to have to run all the way over there every time I needed a bit of concrete.
Exactly, so that's fine. But what, like with other things where we have like super long, and I think the other thing that is we have like 6 or 7 places all spread apart that are making the same thing and then shipping them back towards each other. Whereas like if we just put things in order,
so it's going to take a little bit of planning. Sorting out where we want things pointing,
and that's sort of that's kind of my forte technically with this kind of stuff is the planning. Kris is really good at starting things off and just getting where we need to go. Yeah, but getting it sorted out. So okay, now we need to start moving this stuff and have specific stuff going where, and how do we lay this out so that's the most efficient. That's where I come into it a lot more.
Yes. Which is weird because that's not how it goes in other games, as we've discussed that before.
It sort of is though. Like if I actually put my mind to it, yes.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's like there are
the issue is that I very rarely want to put my mind to it.
True.
It's because it's not a fast process. It's not the longest, but it's like planning stuff out without seeing it is incredibly hard to do. So you kind of it should always be done as a kind of backwards forwards type thing where it's like okay, this is what we're doing, this is okay, so we've got this set up, now what's the next step? Whereas if you try and do it all in one go, you kind of you are going to make mistakes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But yeah, so Satisfactory came out, we did again, we're moving along, and it kind of ends with me dying and trying to quickly rush something that is beyond my power right now. I cannot do it. So stay tuned for part 2 to see how I resolve that.
I don't remember what that was.
Uranium.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I got nuked to death.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sort of happened when I was busy.
Yeah.
I heard the commotion but didn't pay attention to it.
You were doing something, I can't remember. But...
Oh, it was definitely something new where we've got the coal power. It was probably setting up the steel. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was like running around just being like, because, yeah, pretty much where I am research-wise, I'm pushing forward some really advanced stuff. So I need really advanced things. And part of it is that, like, because they're late game materials, they are kind of hidden or in hard to reach spots. And I just kind of brute forced it by using just tactics that I already had.
Yeah.
My own equipment that's kind of well before it. And that's fine, except when you come into things like where I was.
Well, yes.
Anyway, moving right along.
And then Wednesday. Happy. I just said Wednesday this time. Probably not happy that I stopped. It was seafood.
It
was a solo play of seafood. I was not there.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Something I have always turns off, and I dislike it when it's turned off. Because I always forget it's turned off.
Ah, fair enough.
And so I was trying to turn it on because I was just staring at it being off. But yeah, no, Sifu.
Yes.
Look, I don't know. I'd never played it. I'd heard people talk about it, and I had like a general idea that it was a martial arts game. That's about all I really knew about it.
Fair.
So I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go because I have it on my Xbox, so I'll give it a bit of a play, and it's good. I enjoy it. I'm not very good at it.
I'll have to actually have a look at it.
But
so I haven't actually seen anything on the game. So.
And classic Kris doesn't. See, I always say this about us, right?
Yeah.
I watch all of our videos.
Yes.
I don't need to because I know exactly what's happening. I edit all the videos. Kris, on the other hand, does absolutely nothing.
No, the problem is when I do actually put our videos on while I'm at home,
he doesn't even watch the stuff we're putting out. And 90% of it, I guarantee you 90% of it, he has never seen before.
Probably not wrong. But it's one
probably
of the...
wouldn't be wrong if I said 95% of it he's never seen before.
No, you again, probably not wrong. But the reason I've seen all of the shorts. All of them. That's positive.
It's very nice that you can put aside a minute a day.
It's more so down the track of when I put it on, I just get distracted. So even though it's on and it's there, I immediately get distracted and I have no idea what the hell's going on.
Anyway,
that's my problem.
Back to Sifu. I really liked the game. It was quite fun. I, again, not very good at it. Have no concept of how to plan for it. And have also no comprehension about the skill tree. But I was very good with lead pipes.
I did see that in the name.
Yeah, that's my style of... That is literally my style of martial arts that I use, the lead pipe style, because otherwise I'd be fucked.
I feel like you'd use that in real life as well.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably not as fancy as in the game, because he's very fancy with it, but I reckon I could pull off a few good hits.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was really fun. It was really good to play. I'm glad I did it, because I kind of just did it on a whim. But playing it reminded me of, like, just in the very, like, first few seconds, I was like, oh my god, this kind of reminds me of Sleeping Dogs. Like, the setting, just the rainy kind of... It kind of looks like you're in Hong Kong. I'm not sure if you are. I would assume you're just in some kind of made-up Asian city. Yeah. But it just reminds me of Hong Kong from Sleeping Dogs, and like playing it, I was just like, oh god, I want to play Sleeping Dogs again. So I think in that video I decided that I'm going to start playing Sleeping Dogs on the channel, because that's a fucking amazing game that should get more love than it does. But yeah, Sifu is great. I loved it. I definitely want to play more of it. So I'm hoping that it gets some good views. I will play more of it, whether or not it does get good views. But
It's just whether or not it comes back onto the channel.
Yeah, well, I probably will put it back on the channel. It's real. It's a pleasure to film. It's really easy to film. It's not one of these ones where you have to then spend like. It's not a Minecraft where it's like to get a 30-minute video. It's best if you have 2 hours of footage.
True.
It's just really, really easy to put together, and it's really fun to play. I really enjoyed it, and I owe the people of the channel a boss fight because I accidentally left the boss fight.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I was getting my ass handed to me, and I'm like, oh, okay, this says go back to the... Like, I wanted to leave and just go back to the hub and, like, do some spending and, like, kind of reevaluate what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then I went back to the start of the mission, so I had to do everything again. And I was like, oh, okay, there is no way to just go back to the hub.
Yeah. You know, we should get you to do Sekiro on the show.
We'll do it.
Because there is no going back and there is going back and reevaluating how you're going to do it, but there's no way to distribute points differently or anything. It's just keep going until you get there.
Well, look, I'm not gonna lie. The biggest mistake I made was that I like literally right before walking into the boss thing, I threw away my lead pipe.
Jesus Christ!
Because I forgot what the button was. I was like, oh, and I'm like, oh shit, that's the throw button. And so I went in to fight a guy who had a machete with nothing. And then I forgot that you can't really block a machete with your bare arms.
No, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, you don't say.
Oh, look, hear me out here, hear me out. Worst case scenario, cuts one of the arms off. You can try to use the arm he's just cut off to take at least one more hit.
It's not actually the worst case scenario.
Well, yeah, okay.
Worst case scenario is it goes through the arm straight into the neck.
Well, true, fair enough.
Bro, never forget, worst case scenario is quite literally the worst case scenario.
No, okay, yeah,
That's why when people are like, oh, what's the worst case scenario? Like,
okay.
The worst case scenario is that a meteorite hits the Earth and wipes us all out. That's it. That's worse. I know, because it's,
yeah, I mean, look.
in terms of everything you're planning, that stops it all. That's the worst thing.
Okay, fair enough.
From there, everything's upwards.
Oh, yes, okay, fair enough.
Hey, so we're thinking about going to the movies on Saturday. Can you make it? Well, look, worst case scenario, no.
True. And it was just like, wait, hang on. We need a yes or a no here.
Wait, why worst case scenario? Worst case scenario is that a meteorite hits the Earth, wiping all life as we know it off. Okay, so if that happens, you won't be... No, I won't be there. Be dead, like everyone else.
Exactly.
Concept of cinema will probably die as well.
More than likely. Yeah.
It's actually a weird thought, isn't it?
It is a bit, isn't it?
Well, I was just in there and I was like, yeah, it's correct. If humanity is wiped out, so is the concept of cinema, because it is our concept.
It's true.
But that just means that like a whole bunch of concepts are probably wiped out as well.
Oh, a lot of concepts, yes.
Fun. Anyway, yeah, Sleeping's great. It has reminded me that I do want to go back and play some Sleeping Dogs, so you might see some of that, depending on how we go, and possibly more Sifu, depending on how that goes. But as I said, I owe you guys a boss fight, so I will go back and beat him no matter how many years it takes. It's a Sifu thing. And I am more and more confident every day that it does mean master, but again, I did not look up what Sifu actually means. It's all context clues.
We'll figure that out later.
Doubt it.
Probably not. Yeah, it's a good point.
Anyway, moving right along to Friday, when this podcast comes out, and when Minecraft probably isn't coming out, because I have been playing around with putting that on the Saturday.
I did notice that.
Yeah,
I did actually notice that.
Two reasons. It does give me more time to edit it, and the Minecrafts are taking longer and longer, mainly because they are longer and longer. Yes. And even when they're not longer and longer, they're just one of the most complex videos to edit.
True.
They're generally long, got lots of camera angles in them. Generally, if it's me and Kris, it's both of our sides. If it's just me, I'm just trying to cut out all of the stuff where I'm just kind of wandering around.
Oh, the tedium.
Yes.
Makes sense. So what's coming out instead, or just nothing?
No. So pretty much 4 videos, 4 days. That's the new plan.
Yes.
So on a Friday, it will be the podcast.
Yes.
And the Saturday right after that will be the Minecraft. If that works, if we're still seeing good viewership, then we'll stay on that. If not, I'll bring it back to the Friday. But at the moment, it's just doing it on the Saturday gives me more time. It means any finishing touches that I need to do can be done on the Friday.
And look, it's not as much of an issue either, because at least if it comes out on a Saturday, a lot of people are on a day off.
Exactly.
So it coming out then is that thing of, oh, no, I can watch this.
Exactly. So that's why I'm playing around with it. Hopefully it works. The other side of that is that because it's a Saturday, I think more videos. There's no reasoning behind this, but it's just like that concept of exactly what you said. Saturdays are when people actually have the time to sit down and watch stuff, so it's when stuff gets released.
Yes.
But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. But for the next probably couple of weeks, at least until February, well, probably closer to March, I'm gonna be playing around with this, seeing if it's working for us. Just because, as I said, it does give me a bit of extra time to have everything sorted.
Especially when you're back to work as well.
Yeah, especially considering that when I am actually working, Friday is like legitimately my worst day to try and do anything because I start early and end later.
Yeah.
So, fun. Yeah, just having that bit of extra time to kind of finesse the last few bits and bobs, I think is making a big difference and removing a little bit more stress, because it means, usually I kind of like have to get everything done by these deadlines, and by pushing that back just a little bit, it's like, cool. Instead of being like, oh my, holy shit, Friday's this massive day, or I've got to have 2 videos ready to go, blah, 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 blah. And so if something bad happens on like a Thursday when I'm supposed to be doing a big edit and I don't get around to it, or something happens and I have to go somewhere and it's longer than I thought, it means instead of having to come in and be like, okay, so now I'm working till 3 in the morning on Thursday evening and Friday morning, I can just be like, okay, I can just do that tomorrow.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, that'll be coming out. It's another upgrade to my house, but very soon I will start playing around with my plans for the Easter challenge. Yes. That's going to be probably a couple months worth of videos in itself. So, I am going to try and make sure that every month we're at least getting 2 of the videos with me and Kris where we push forwards.
Yeah,
but they are one of the harder ones to do, because generally we have to find time to film it, then I have to get time to edit it. There's a whole lot of stuff happening with those ones.
Yes.
Which has to work around our schedules. So the Minecrafts can be difficult, but we're hoping they will continue to be coming out. Yeah. But as I said, I do have plans for Easter. They're massive. They're probably the most complex plans I've ever done. Not in terms of what's actually happening, but just in plans of making it happening. I have to learn how to use things like redstone circuitry.
Yes.
Which means a lot of trial and error. So there'll probably be some videos of me playing around with that, seeing if I can get what I want to happening. And then, we'll see how we go from there.
Indeed. Just was thinking maybe some Black Myth Wukong, starting that up. See if I can record it first. That one's actually going to be the first trial.
As I said, that is kind of our plans moving forward. Yep. We do have, it is about a year late, but it would be nice for you to start filming stuff on your own, so you at least can get used to it.
Yeah, fair enough.
And put in a little bit of effort there.
Yeah. I know. But yeah, that's where I think I'm gonna look at first is Black Myth Wukong, as long as I can record it. Otherwise, I will have to find something else.
Awesome. Yeah. Other than that, guys, the shorts are continuing to come out. I've actually pulled back. I know we used to do about 3 shorts a day, but I think the 2 a day is working better. It does mean it takes longer to get through all of the backlog of stuff we have, but it also means that I have less time thinking about shorts and more time actually working on the videos for the channel where the shorts come from. So I think it's a net positive.
That makes sense.
But other than that, guys, we are at 213 subscribers or something like that.
Yeah, we're still there.
For the last week, it has actually been playing jump rope. It's been quite weird. I'm not gonna lie. We went from 213 to 214 to 215, back to 214, back to 213, back to 214, back to 215, back to 213, and all that time we never lost a subscriber according to our analytics. So I have no idea what's been happening there, but our numbers have been jumping all over the shop.
Okay.
And the whole time YouTube's been like, no, nothing's changed. And it's like, then why does that number keep changing every time I look at it?
Very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wonders of YouTube.
Yeah.
But no, other than that, guys, as we always say, we do appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with us. And
stay for it. Keep enjoying.
Hopefully we keep making the stuff that you guys enjoy and you guys like to stay.
Yeah.
And hopefully that, keeps our growth going. We are very close to being able to start a membership section of the channel.
Cool.
Once that starts, I have no idea what it will have in it, or even if we'll take advantage of that yet. But yeah, we're about halfway there, so we'll see how we go. The only reason that it's on my mind right now is because as I often say, when it comes to channel growth, we went from a year where there was no channel growth to a year where we've kind of gained all of the supporters that we currently have. And so it's not crazy to think that in the next year we could see that growth continuing to go.
It'd be very nice.
Yeah. Well, even like in terms of the subscribers we've had from the 1st of January to now is almost double what we had in that same period last year. So I think in that period last year we had like 1. In this period we've had something like 10.
Yeah, because I think it was a couple months in that we started getting the bigger jumps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I don't know when we'll achieve that, but every day is kind of like, a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
So thank you. We really do appreciate it. And hopefully we keep making the stuff that you guys enjoy.
Yes.
And hopefully we find more people that enjoy it. Because that would be wonderful.
That would be amazing.
Moving right along.
Indeed. So what's the first topic?
Well, first of all, let's just say that wraps up.
Oh shit, yeah, my bad. I forgot to say it.
The first topic I want to broach.
Yes.
Just because it's like kind of been on my mind.
Okay.
Is the Minecraft movie.
Have you looked at anything on it?
Oh, I was playing Minecraft earlier, so I've seen a few bits where like they showed a bee and it
looks weird. I don't know.
I just want to say like I hate it because
if
you're gonna make a Minecraft movie, don't make it like super CG.
No.
Just make it in the style of Minecraft. Yes, make it look a little bit nicer, but have everything be Minecraft. Don't make the bees look like square, fuzzy, weird
don't try to do the kind of live action that everyone's trying to do at the moment. The mix of live action with the CG, and
I wish they would stop
it just
that.
Doesn't work properly.
I really wish they would stop that. I hate it so much. And
as do I.
There's no purpose for it. I really just wish, and I don't know if this is... There are some things where, of course, you have to do that,
Oh, yeah.
Star Wars, obviously. Anything Star Wars.
Yeah.
But sorry, it's not anything Star Wars. Because they've stopped doing practical effects, it's now anything Star Wars has to be a mix of real and CG. Which, okay, whatever. But you kind of sit there and you go, okay, so...
But it's for stuff that makes sense.
If you have the ability to do something as a cartoon, do it as a cartoon. You're making a kid's show. It doesn't need real people in it.
No.
Kids don't care. And secondly, it's going to be bad. I just know it's not going to be good. Like there's no way now. Yet? No, it comes out in like April or something.
Okay, so yeah, fair enough.
It like told me everything when I was in the launcher for Minecraft, but I was just like, okay, there's money on the table to be done with Minecraft because it's...
Oh, don't get me wrong. The movie will work to a degree because a lot of kids play Minecraft and they're going to want to go see it.
I have no doubt it'll make profit. I'm just saying it won't be good.
No.
But actually, I have no idea if it will make profit or not, because the idea that it will make profit is based off the fact that kids will see it whether it's good or not.
Yes.
So it probably won't have any real staying power.
True.
But kids will see it. But then again, with the economy of most countries the way they are right now, will parents take their kids to see movies?
That's true.
I don't know.
We'll have to wait and see.
I guess it depends what streaming sites it pops up on.
True.
But I know it's not going to be good. I can pretty much guarantee you it's not going to be good.
Just from the stuff that I've seen, or the trailer I've seen, I'm just like, no,
because
please.
If you want to do it, I think so I think the first and the hardest thing about this is Minecraft doesn't have a story.
Technically, no. I mean,
Like,
they tried to add a story mode to it.
That's a whole different game.
Yeah, I know.
Story mode is a whole different game,
yeah.
and is not the giant popular thing that Minecraft is.
No, it's not.
So Minecraft itself, the actual game Minecraft, does not have a story.
No.
It has a goal.
Yes.
But how you achieve that goal is your experience.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And whether you even do that goal, that's the next thing. Some people only play it to build, and that's it. Or just mine, because there are people who just mine.
So, that's my first thing. We're going to tell a story, a very linear story, because that's what movies and all that kind of has to be.
True.
In the ultimate sandbox. And the reason that it's loved is it's the ultimate sandbox.
Oh, it is. 100% is.
So we're going to tell a story that takes that and narrows it down.
Yep.
Okay. Rightio, that's going to work.
Yeah.
Secondly,
yeah.
Something that as I said, Minecraft is one of the most watched games out there. Like, people stream it, people YouTube it, all that kind of stuff. We do it. And people watch it. But again, they watch the people, because everything you do in Minecraft is super simple.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So if you're watching it for the people.
So yeah.
So now we're going to take some actors and have them pretend. And here's the other thing.
Have you seen the actual trailer for the movie?
No.
Yeah, the crafting looks stupid as fuck.
How so?
I basically just threw it on the table and hit it with a hammer. From memory. It's been a while since I've watched it. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Why would you even do that? What? No. It's a serious question. Why would you even do that? Because
I'm going to show you.
That's not what you do in the game.
No, it's not.
In the game, you just take the materials, put them on the table, and you take off the new thing.
Yes.
You put the recipe on the table. So literally just have them collecting the stuff, putting them, like, walking up to the table.
Putting it in order. Done.
Putting it in order, and then just being like...
Yeah.
And like, showing them, like, putting it down, and then cutting to them, and then them picking up the thing that them...
Like, you're going to have to watch this trailer after so you can see it. Because I think it'll cement the idea that it's not going to be good.
Like, I get it. You have to put that in, because if someone hasn't played Minecraft, they're like, wait, what are they doing on that table? But at the same time, you're not selling it to that person.
No.
And this is something that's always pissed me off about movies that are, or things like the Halo TV show.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to make the Halo TV show make sense to people who haven't played Halo.
No.
You're not selling it to them.
No.
No, we're trying to sell it to everyone. No, you're not. You bought the rights to the name Halo for a reason.
Yep.
To sell it to the fans. Then you turn around and say, oh, well, actually, no, we don't care if we to make those fans angry. Then why did you spend the money on the name?
Yeah.
It pisses me off to no extent, because it's like, if you just want to tell this story, you don't, and it has nothing to do with the lore of that franchise, you don't need their name.
No.
And it would save you so much money, because you're not paying for their name.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
But you're also not bringing in their audience. When I make a TV show that says Halo, I'm aiming at anyone who likes Halo.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to bring an audience to it before I've even started.
Yeah, like, and if you did it the other way, you'll get some of the audience from Halo, and they'll go, this is practically Halo.
If you went generic science fiction TV show, you're getting none of that pullover from people who like Halo.
No,
they might hear about it and go like, "Oh, I'll watch it. I like science fiction."
Yeah,
But you say Halo, people who like Halo go, "Oh, okay, let's go watch this. It's the Halo TV show."
It's pretty straightforward.
That's the only reason to buy that. But then what these TV studios and movie studios do is then go, yeah. So now that we have the audience who knows this product coming over because we've brought that name, let's throw everything out so that we can make it more generic so that everyone will like it. And it's like, don't do that.
No. It's the dumbest thing you can do.
It's the stupidest thing you can do, because what you're going to do is you're going to piss off the audience that came over for the name, because you're pretty much saying, hey, you know that thing you love? Get fucked.
Yeah.
One, it's hubris.
We've already seen that.
I think I can do this better. Well, Halo's gone. Rings of Power, I doubt it's getting a season 3.
Probably not.
Season 2 was greenlit before season 1 finished, and season 1 wasn't even able to maintain a 40% viewership.
I still haven't watched it.
Yeah, no, but I'm not talking about people who didn't watch it. People who didn't watch it is billions.
No, it was just
But people who started watching it and then never finished it,
I was like
something like 37%. 37% of people who started watching it actually stayed watching it till the end.
yeah, it's like
That's bad.
this will probably annoy some people, but that's like me watching Game of Thrones. I did not continue it.
I think I watched season 1, episode 1. Went, this sucks. Watched season 4, episodes like 3 and 4. Went, still don't like it.
Yeah.
Watched season 6. I think I watched all of season 6 because that's when stuff was actually happening, and I was like, stuff's happening, not too bad.
Yeah.
And the rest of it, I was just like, I don't really care. And like the people I were watching were like, hey, do you want to go? Like, we can give it to you so you can go back and watch. I was like, no, I'm good.
I think I've watched season 1 and I think about half of season 2, and then I haven't gone back to it.
And I never ended up watching the final season, and everyone was like, yeah, don't even bother. And I was like, you didn't like it to begin with. You will not sit through the final season. I went, probably very likely.
Yeah, super unlikely.
But yeah, no, like, so, as I said, I don't know if Rings of Power has been cancelled, but we know Halo has, we know The Acolyte has, a lot of things which were like, we're going to take this and then we're going to change it.
Oh, The Acolyte was cancelled?
Yeah.
Which is weird, because that's what I've heard from a lot of people. It's like, oh, it's the best Star Wars thing they put out recently. It's like, I can't remember, but it's a couple of people at work have said it, and I'm like,
oh, but they're morons. No, but seriously, like, the thing is, right?
Yeah.
And this is something that's really important. If you're going to use something's name, at least respect the property.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we'll go back to Halo, because it's something that I, though never watching, I know enough about the base versus the TV show.
Yeah.
And unlike Star Wars, which would actually be my third one, the people making it don't own the canon.
No.
Disney own the canon, so they can do whatever they want with it. And as fans, all we can really say is, well, we ain't watching your shit.
Pretty much.
And they can say, oh, but this is the canon now. You can say, well, that's cool, we ain't watching it. And we can go back to our fandom.
Yeah.
Where we go, Legends. We can pretty much just go back to Legends and be like, Legends wasn't all gold, but at least it was better than this.
Yeah.
And, part of that is, like, you can take things and be like, yeah, the Clone Wars fits really well into the Legend stuff and is actually part of Legends.
Yeah.
Whereas the Acolyte doesn't fit well into Legend stuff, doesn't fit well into anything, and you can just kind of ignore it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like we did with the Palpatine returning stuff. Because it didn't just happen in Return of the Jedi. There was actually a whole comic. It was like, Palpatine made clones of himself, and people were like, nah.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I never heard about that one. I didn't actually read into that one all that much.
It wasn't the best writing. But that was the thing about canon. It was, the old Star Wars. No matter what they say at Disney, they did have a whole bunch of ideas that they could have used.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do anything without any ideas whatsoever. They just chose to ignore them and pretty much re-release A New Hope. Then make a show that was, then the next movie was like, hey, you're everyone's favorite characters. We're going to totally fucking destroy them.
Yep.
So that you like our new characters better. And then in the final one, they were like, hey, so you hate our new characters, but remember Palpatine? He was big bad. And it's like, let's just undo everything good that we've done.
Yeah, pretty much.
And of course, try and like throw out everything that was the history of Star Wars so that our new people are the center point, because we can work around them. We can't, and you know, fair play. I will say this to Disney: it would be incredibly difficult to continue on the stories of Luke Skywalker,
True,
Han Solo, and Princess Leia, when all of those characters are quite literally, the people who play them are now either dead, unfortunately,
yes,
or quite old.
yes,
Like, we could never really see Grandmaster Luke stuff and him be a focal point of the story, because unfortunately Mark Hamill is past his prime. He's a bit too old to do all the cool lightsaber stuff.
Yeah.
And they can do what they've done in the other shows, which is deep fake him.
True.
But there's a difference between deep faking for
an entire movie.
Well, a few
clips.
Yeah. And then having a deep fake for the entire movie.
Yeah.
And the truth is, I don't want to see that, because Mark Hamill is Luke.
Yeah.
But again, there are ways to do this without completely destroying the story. You know, jump far enough ahead so that Luke is the wise old man, but don't just destroy. Don't try and reset everything back to the Rebels versus the Empire again, because the whole point of the original trilogy was the Rebels won.
Look, I would have liked to, and I'm pretty sure we've discussed it before on here. We may have done it off screen, but just the early days of the Jedi, back when they were warriors, that might have been a good thing for them to sort of go through.
Maybe
show where it came from.
Maybe
show what happened.
Yeah.
So with all that,
they kind of tried to do that with the Acolyte though, because the Acolyte focused on the Golden Republic, and the Golden Republic is a time that they've made comics about. It's a bad time though.
Fair enough.
I would have loved to see some, like the yes, older Jedi, but again, that's a harder story to tell.
Or maybe even just like the transition of them going from warriors to peacekeepers, and showing maybe how difficult that might have been.
I don't think that would have been a very good TV show or movie series though, because that would have been literally like the Phantom Menace. It was all politics.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair point.
It was politics, very little actual. But you know, there is a lot of things you could tell stories about. The problem is that. So, okay, first of all, the first point about Disney Star Wars, and then we'll quickly get back onto Halo so I can make my point that I was trying to make there. Yeah. But the first point about Disney Star Wars is the longer that it goes on, the worse Order 66 becomes. Not like the worse it becomes in terms of the atrocity that it was.
Yeah.
Because it was. Like, the whole point of it was the genocide of the Jedi.
Yes. But
the longer that Disney controls Star Wars, the more Jedi that they seem to just have missed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we are seeing, like, oh, yeah, they missed this Jedi. Oh, yeah, they missed it. Oh, yeah, they missed this. It's like, oh, no, but they missed all these Padawans. It's like, quite literally the easiest people to kill. Like, with The Mandalorian, Obi-Wan, what's Rebels.
Yeah.
At the end of the Clone Wars.
Yes.
Each of those series has at least one Jedi youngling or Padawan who somehow survived.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. And in two of those, they were actually in the Jedi Temple that was assaulted by Vader.
Yes, that is actually true.
And in one of those, maybe even two of them, I can't remember because I can't remember. There's one little clip of Go-Get. Although I will say there was a really cool part about the Go-Get clip where it shows you him like in the Jedi Temple. But I'm pretty sure it was just clones that were attacking. But it might not have been. But I'm pretty sure you get to see Master Syndrome, who is the Jedi Battle Master. So like one of the best Jedi swordsmen. Yeah. And you get to see him die. But I'm pretty sure he was actually killed by Anakin. So they either move him before Anakin arrives, which would make sense.
Yeah. Or
we see another youngling that Anakin did not manage to kill.
Yes.
The most powerful fucking Jedi / Sith at one of his most powerful times, because he was actually weaker as Vader than he was as Anakin. Look it up. Somehow managed to not finish off two younglings. They weren't even Padawans, they were younglings at the time. Because Obi-Wan brought that in. fuck, you could apparently survive being stabbed by Vader himself as a youngling, not even a Padawan. So your Jedi training is basic as shit.
Yeah.
And you can survive that when, like, so many Jedi Masters were just not able to.
Well, they were also unarmed. It was like this. There was no challenge.
I don't know about their little baby lightsabers. But yeah, they were not a challenge.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so, like, you know, the longer, and like, yeah, so, fucking, even, and I love Jedi Survivor, but it is Disney, Star Wars.
See, and
that gives us another Padawan who survived.
Yes.
And that one does make sense.
It makes sense because
his master was actually there with him, and his master sacrificed, and that kind of, it makes sense on how a lot of them survive.
Yes.
Ones that I disagree with, Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah.
She's had too many opportunities which would have been perfect opportunities to exit her out and not fuck up the original trilogy canon.
Yeah.
But we didn't do that.
Oh, of course.
So now instead we have a fucked up original trilogy canon where we literally have the Rebel assault on the Death Star to take out Vader and the Emperor.
Yeah.
Oh, she was too busy. There's nothing more busy. No. There was nothing more important for the Rebels than taking out Vader and the Emperor. And they went, okay, we're sending the one Jedi we got, Luke. You're the only one who can fucking do it.
Yep.
But now it's like, oh no, Tano was there, and apparently she was better trained than Luke, and she would have been better trained at that time.
Oh, 100%.
That's not an argument. She's not as powerful in the Force, because that's just, Luke is more powerful.
Yeah.
But she was a battle-trained Jedi from the Clone Wars.
Yes.
By not killing her off, you've made a really big point of why the fuck wasn't she there?
So massive.
Oh, because she wasn't in the story yet. Yeah, I know, but you could have fixed that. You could have fixed that by just having her die before that point.
You know what I think Disney just likes?
Dave Filoni just likes his own character.
Well, yeah. I was just going to go down the track of saying, I think they just like plot holes. They'll never fill them, but I think they like just having plot holes.
Disney likes one thing and one thing only. And we do them a massive disservice by pretending it's anything else. Disney likes money.
Yeah, true.
So while a lot of people in the Star Wars fandom still like Ahsoka, she's a very good character.
Yes.
The only issue is, the longer she remains in the story, the more plot holes she opens up.
Yes.
So she needed an expiration date. I think that should have been in the Rebels TV show. I'll explain that, but yeah. So before I explain that, I just want to quickly go back to the Halo thing, because unlike Disney, Halo, the story rights to Halo do not belong to the people who made the TV show. Yes. So they can't just be like, oh, but this is now the canon. We're changing this old canon. This is the new canon, right?
Yeah.
That's beyond their scope. So what they should have done is got their writers, all their smart writers, educated writers,
indeed,
to read a bit of the Halo story and go, okay, so some of this stuff can't be done. We literally cannot do this.
No.
Why? Because expense, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But, okay, we want to tell this story, so where does it fit? How can we use it? Can we tell a story of Halo without the Master Chief? Fuck yeah, you can. Yeah. In fact, I don't know if you know this, but like for years, there's like been rules with Star Wars, which is like, you have to be prove yourself to get a Jedi.
Well, yeah.
You have to prove that you can tell a good story to get a Jedi, pretty much.
Yeah.
AKA, they called it the lightsaber rule, which is why it was like Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1, the original, you could not play as a Jedi character. You were just a clone trooper, or a droid, or a rebel soldier, or a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
You could see them on the battlefield and they just run around murking everyone.
Yeah.
But you couldn't play as them. But that game was so popular and so well received, they went for the second one. We'll let you use Jedi.
Yeah.
Fine, here you go. You can actually let your players play as them.
Yeah.
The same was for Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, yes.
I had to fight tooth and nail to actually get a Jedi in it.
Oh yeah.
Makes sense. Jedi are what make the Star Wars universe unique. Otherwise, it's just a science fiction thing.
Yeah.
But you have to prove that that your story is worthy of having one of the cornerstones of them, and that you're not going to absolutely fuck the canon.
Well, yeah.
By like having one of your Jedi be like, "Yo, yeah, I'm a Jedi Master who survived the Order 66, and now I just kind of bum around the desert." That's Obi-Wan's gig. No one else can have it.
No one.
But yeah, so I think Halo should have been more like that. Yes, you can make a Halo story. You cannot use the Master Chief.
Yep.
You cannot use Sweet Sergeant Johnson.
Yep.
You cannot use Cortana.
Mm-hmm.
You can't use the Flood. And you can't use the Arbiter.
Okay.
Those 5, they're off limits.
Fair.
You prove to us that you can make a good story, we'll let you use some of these characters.
Fair.
Why? Because it means that you're not going to be like, okay, so here's the Master Chief, and in the first episode, he takes off his helmet. No, because that's not what he does.
No.
Okay, it doesn't do that. And here's a really big important point about like the Spartans themselves, is that they're like the best soldiers. That's why they don't take off their helmets in the middle of fights either. Because they're like, oh, this thing's protecting my noggin.
Pretty much.
They're one of the only soldiers in the whole of like science fiction that are like, no, this is actually doing a job.
Yeah.
I'm keeping this on. Not like these ones where it's like, oh no, I've got blood on my screen. Rip off the helmet so you can see my face. No. Helmet's on. Always on.
Never coming off. The most I'm getting is a cloth.
Forward onto Dawn did the Master Chief right.
Yeah.
That scene in the Pelican right at the end where the other Spartans take off their helmets and he's just like, no.
Fuck you.
Like, oh, sorry, did you not know? I never take off my helmet when other people can see me.
Yeah. You dumbass.
Exactly. But no.
Yeah.
The Halo TV show, and I guarantee it was part of the thing. They're like, oh, we'll make a Halo TV show. We want to use your thing, but we want to use the Chief as well because he's the draw card. What we gotta do is like a Halo 5 Guardians.
Yeah.
Didn't have the Chief. Worst Halo there was.
Yeah. True.
Or even worse than the real-time strategy ones. Why? Because that didn't have the Chief, but it had 3 other Spartans. Real Spartans who didn't take off their helmets all the time.
Okay, this is apparently the biggest thing. It's the helmet.
Don't take off your helmets. Anyway,
True.
My point is, the people who made the Halo TV show should not have been given any of those characters. They should have said, nope, you can't use them. Actually, chuck Halsey in there as well. They should have said, no Halsey either.
Yeah.
And then they should have said, now make a TV show. If it's good, we'll let you have it. We might let you have some of these.
We'll let you have it in season 2.
Right, in season 2, we'll let you bring in like Halsey and that. And there's so much to tell about the Halo world.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, there's the Human Covenant War.
Yeah.
That's the first 3 games.
That is true.
After the first 3 games, there is no Human Covenant War.
Yeah.
Before that, you have the whole insurrectionist movement. Make a story about that. Make a story about when the idea to make the Spartans were.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to give you way
that
more
would
stuff
be good,
to work
yeah.
with.
Shit.
And you can make the payoff being like, oh, look, here's Halsey and they're making the Spartan project, which we're going to see the boy Chief come out of. You know?
That would be
Have
good.
the insurrectionists. Have them be like this. If you want to tell a story about normal people, tell a story about normal people and how the freaking... It wasn't the UNSC, it was the people who... It's the actual government. I think it's the UGE or something, United Earth Government or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But have those guys be like, yeah, no, all these insurrectionists who are fighting against us, we hate them, so let's make super soldiers who can fight them. Because that's like a really big contentious thing.
Yeah.
The fact that the Spartans were already ready to go to fight the Covenant
True, yeah.
was a total accident. Because,
that would actually be a good story, yeah.
because they were stolen as children. That they take time to become teenagers, so they were readying them before they ever realized what the Covenant were. Before they even had contact with the Covenant, the Spartans were being trained. Why? What? Oh, because they were going to be used to pretty much stop any dissidents in the human colonies.
Yeah.
They were going to be super soldiers used against the civilians, pretty much. And then the aliens came and they're like, oh, well, hang on, we have all these super soldiers we made. And, like, that's part of it. It's like, after the Covenant War, because the Covenant War obviously stopped the insurrectionists because, you know, as I've said a million times, the only thing that will stop humans killing each other is if something that can wipe all of us comes along, and then we have to fight that.
Yes.
That'll bring us all together, and then once we deal with that, we'll go back to fighting each other.
Exactly.
And that's what happens in Halo. That's legitimately part of what's happening in Halo.
That is true.
And, like, there's this whole big thing where it's like, yes, the Master Chief and the remaining Spartans.
Yeah.
Because that was changed in Halo 3. We know that you play as Chief. He's the main Spartan.
Yeah.
But there were other Spartans who survived. In fact, there's even one in the original Halo. I think it's Grace. It might be Grace. She might actually be dead though, but she's definitely on the Pillar of Autumn.
Okay. Yep.
Might even be Kelly. I can't remember. I'll have to look that up eventually. But anyway, the point is that we knew there were other Spartans.
Yes.
We just assumed we were the last. And I was like, oh no, you weren't the last. There were other Spartans doing things. But you were pretty much the big one stopping the Covenant War. Yeah. You were the one being our hero. And like humanity were like, Chief's a hero. Especially after he came back.
Oh yeah.
After Halo 4. They're like, the hero. Like, because we need a hero. Halo 2 starts off. People need a hero in these times.
Yes.
You're on the videos, you're doing this, you're doing that. But anyway, the point is that once people started to do the maths, they were like, hang on a second. How did we have these super soldiers ready to fight this alien thing that literally appeared, started wiping us out, and then we were like, no, we've got super soldiers to fight them.
It's a fair question.
When people started doing that math, they're like, hang on. These super soldiers weren't made to fight aliens. Oh. Of course, there's also the whole thing where it's like the people don't really know. People don't really know that the super soldiers were taken as children. And the people who find out get disappeared.
You know what? That makes sense.
Yeah. So Halo is quite dystopian. But no, we didn't tell that story. Tell that story. Tell the insurrectionist story.
It's a good story.
Like, there's so much that could have happened, but instead they went, no, Master Chief's banging a lady who works for the Covenant. The Covenant who, like, literally just murk humans because they hate us. Because, if you know anything about Halo, you know that the humans were the enemies of the Forerunners back in the old days. And that the Covenant, magical religious texts, are the Forerunners. So they're like, humanity sucks.
Fair.
The Forerunners are like, humanity sucks. And so the Covenant are like, humanity sucks. And they came across humanity and they were like, these guys suck. Kill them all. They're not going to pick one up and be like, hey, you want to be our friend? Yeah. No, because they're just like, no, fuck you guys. The Covenant's whole thing is that there are a bunch of different aliens, and whenever they find a new alien, they're like, hey, do you want to join us or do you want to be destroyed by us? But they literally found humanity, and because their little books of religion were like, these guys suck, they were like, no, fucking later, kill them.
They don't get a choice. Die.
Wipe these fuckers out. They're not going to just pick one and be like, oh, you know what?
We'll keep one. We'll keep one as a pet.
No. It's like,
because effectively that's what it was.
That's it.
It was a pet.
That's it. And this fucking big chief Johnny No Pants isn't gonna fucking sleep with a human because he's just like
this helmet's not coming off.
Pretty much. But like the whole thing is like in the fourth one, he's since he was like 6 years old, he's been like, you're a soldier, you're a weapon, you're this, you're that. He's not gonna be like, you know what? Let's fuck. He's gonna be like, I'm gonna go kill some.
You work for the Covenant.
Bang. No, not even that, because like you can say he doesn't know, but it's like his whole identity is like, hello, super soldier. Never taught how to do anything other than super soldier.
True, yeah.
So it's when they're like, hey, you have downtime. It's like, cool. You know what I'm gonna do in my downtime? No.
Probably.
Neither do I.
Probably just some training.
Hi, I'm a Spartan. You know, like there's like 150 of us throughout the entire human colonies. We're super soldiers. Each of us has more than a spaceship spent on them just to kind of make us so super. Yeah. What? You've got absolutely nothing for me to do? I can just kind of bum around for a bit? Oh, that sounds great. No, of course not. They're going to be like, so yeah, this thing's happening over here. Can you go fix that for us? And this is during the Covenant War.
Oh, yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. This isn't even like before the Covenant War when it was like, hey, we're training them in super secret, so don't let them go through things, okay?
Yeah.
Or when they do things, you know, keep it all hush. This is like during the Covenant War, when it's like, hey, there's the Spartans. We got 150 of these motherfuckers, and we're being wiped out by aliens. We don't got time to be like, hey, you guys want to just chill around for a bit?
Have a drink.
You want to come back to Sydney, where Fleet Command is, and just fucking chill? No, it's like, oh, it's okay. So you saved this place. Covenant are over here. Go fight them, please. Like, seriously, you're the only guys who can even go, like, toe-to-toe with these big motherfuckers. Do you want to just go deal with them?
It's like, you've got that over here for the moment. Go.
Exactly.
Beeline over there.
Fuck. Anyway, that's the problem.
Yeah, no, fair.
Now let's talk about Tano, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She had an expiration date.
Yes.
She had to be out of the show. She had to be out of the canon.
Well, yeah.
By that time.
By New Hope.
Yeah, exactly. Because otherwise, you know, instead of having just Yoda and Obi-Wan to train Luke, we'd have, you know, Cal Kestis, Ahsoka Tano, all of these Jedi who've been Jediing for ages.
Yeah.
Could have come and been like, yeah, Luke, apparently you need help being a Jedi, and also Vader, and you're the only person who can really beat him.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to become a Super Jedi Strike team with all of the Jedi who survived Order 66, and what we're going to do is we're all going to assault the Death Star together, because there's only 2 Sith, and even though they're very powerful, we got you. So if we give you a proper training, you'll be, like, better than both of them.
Yeah.
And we'll just buy you the time so you can deal with both of them. Everything will be good. You know?
No. We cannot do that.
Well, that's the problem, because that wasn't part of the story originally. By adding these characters in, it's like, yeah, why didn't they just do that then? Why didn't we just gather all these Jedi who survived and be like, my name is Luke, I'm the son of Anakin, and I'm literally powerful enough to defeat these guys, I just need the training.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I mean, to have all these Jedi who are like, you know, we all started our training, no one really finished our training for us, but if we all kind of come together, we can teach you how to use the Force, fight, you know, fucking Ahsoka Tano is a dual weapon user, Cal Kestis is technically a double lightsaber user, but has a whole bunch of different forms.
True.
And, you know, we're all taught by different Jedi, so we can at least give you a whole bunch of different styles and practice against fighting against different things, and that way you could have all of the training.
All of the training.
Instead of having to keep going back to Yoda, who was literally on his deathbed.
Yeah.
But no, okay, so...
Yoda, who's carrying me over there.
Exactly.
Now carry me over there. You've carried me.
Like, Yoda, absolutely best person if you want to learn the Force.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And all of the Padawans who survived wouldn't be able to train you in the Force as good as Yoda could.
Oh, no.
But the fact that Yoda was an old man, not great at training with you for the combat side of things. Yeah. But I'm sure he could have sat there with his stick and just been like, hey, Tano, fucking hit him with the double. You know?
Pretty much.
So having these characters survive until A New Hope is a plot hole.
It is.
But it's not just a plot hole. It's like, oh, it's the black hole that is in the center of the universe or whatever.
Yeah.
It'll suck everything in.
Yeah.
So how do we deal with Tano? Well, you could kill her off in Order 66. But we don't want to do that.
No.
Because blah, blah.
Because you could have still done a story after.
Yeah.
Trying to sort something out. But again, it's got to be done by A New Hope. There is no other way.
And Rebels. And Rebels is brilliant. Because Rebels is the perfect time to end her story.
True, yes.
And it's the perfect way to end her story. I don't know if you watched any of Rebels, but...
Oh, yeah, I did.
The Ahsoka Vader scene.
Yeah.
Where she fights Vader and finds out that it's Anakin.
Yep.
Right? Have him kill her then.
That'd be a good spot.
Because that shows that Obi-Wan couldn't bring Anakin back to the light side.
Yeah.
Ahsoka couldn't bring Obi-Wan back to the light side.
Yep.
So the two
and
people
they both
who
spent
were
the most amount of time with him.
the two people closest to him, he destroyed. He did not care about.
Yep.
He was so evil and irredeemable that he struck them down without caring.
Yep.
And then pokes them with his toe, because that's what he does.
Of course. Yeah.
That way, when Luke actually redeems him, it's like, wow. Yeah. That's a big thing. That's how that's how much that whole bit of believing in someone and believing that they can still do right, even after they are the most evil asshole ever, is important.
That's true. Yeah.
So the two people, because that would literally mean Anakin has killed his wife,
Yes.
his trainer / the closest person he was ever had,
Yes.
Obi-Wan, Padme, and the person he trained. So the other person he was closest to in the whole Jedi Order. He would have just struck them all off, because that's what the dark side does.
And many women and children.
And the only thing that brought him back was this love he did not know he had for his children.
Yeah.
Until he was forced to face that.
It's true, yeah. It's a good point.
But no. Because Ahsoka survived, instead of reinforcing the original trilogy and being like, yes, it was love that destroyed the dark side.
Yeah. Which is a pretty common thing to be putting in movies.
It was parental love. The love a parent feels for their children that managed to destroy the darkest person who was. A person who killed his best friend.
Yeah.
Killed his wife.
Yeah.
Killed the first person who was ever like his kid.
Yeah.
His adopted kid struck them off. Didn't care about them either.
No.
But when he was faced with his own two children, love conquered all.
Yeah, that's pretty legit.
No, instead we end up with a giant plot hole. Which is just like, hey, all of the Jedi who are working with the rebellion, can we please come and help Luke fight Darth Vader and the Emperor? He's gonna go do it by himself. No, you're all too busy. What are you doing?
I don't.
I'm just chilling, like.
I don't wake up before midday. Go.
That's what we got instead of this thing where it's like, yes. And as I said, Rebels would have been the perfect time to do it.
Oh,
because she was one of the main characters in Clone Wars. So having her survive allows us to see the transition of a surviving Jedi. Someone who survived and had to learn how to hide from the Empire. Cool. Yep. But by the time of Rebels, she served her purpose. So having her struck down by Vader in that Sith temple would have been a perfect end. Much like having Maul struck down by Obi-Wan is a perfect end for Maul. It's the cycle. You beat him once, you beat him at the end.
Yeah.
Should have killed him the first time. Only managed to cut him in half and, lightsabers.
Yeah.
Who needs what's in the lower half of you anyway?
They only occasionally work.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, that should have been where her story ended.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And it would have been powerful, it would have been right, it wouldn't have led to any plot holes. But no, instead we had to have what we have now, so that we can have her continue on after the thing. And it's like, you are joking, right?
I wish they were. I wish they were.
It's just like,
They
want characters, but it's like, okay, well, hang on.
Yeah.
And like, part of it is like, it's just, a lot of it is like, oh yeah, but how did this person survive? Oh, because of this situation. It's like,
yeah.
It's sort of like this, right? Part of the whole thing with Revenge of the Sith is that the war had clouded the Jedi's vision. That's why incredibly powerful Jedi Masters could not see what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Even though it was like happening. Literally, Yoda, one of the most powerful Jedi ever, who was more powerful than Sidious. Fucking seriously, he was. There's no argument there.
That's for sure.
The fact that he went toe-to-toe with him and had Sidious running, if that's not enough for you, after Sidious struck down 4 Jedi Masters, technically 3, Anakin did the last one, fight me on that, but
yeah,
he struck down 3 Jedi Masters without a thing.
It's true.
Mace was the one Jedi Master other than Yoda who was probably capable of fighting him.
Definitely capable of fighting him.
And anyone who's like, oh no, he let Mace win because he knew Anakin would come. No, that's not what I don't care how smart you think someone is and how calculating they are. no one who's actually that smart or calculating will ever let themselves get into a situation where their actual survival requires someone else to come in at the right time and make a specific decision.
Yeah.
Because if Anakin had got caught up on his way there, like he was like running, and then someone's like, "Oh, Anakin, what are you doing here?" And he had to stop me, like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? Just got to run upstairs because the Jedi are trying to arrest Palpatine because, you know, he's a Sith Lord." Okay, well, there's a big giant fucking thing to deal with there, because that person's like, "What?
Hold on a second.
Hang on, did you say the Jedi are trying to arrest?" And it's like, yeah. And also, okay, this is something that I've always had issues with in that scene.
Yeah.
He literally had to walk over the bodies of 3 dead Jedi Masters to walk in and be like, "No, we have to arrest him." And when he goes, "He's too dangerous to be left alive," he's like, "That's not the Jedi way." He's like, "Dude, you just walked over 3 dead Jedi Masters. 3 incredibly powerful Jedi who he struck down."
Yes.
Someone saying he's too powerful? Yeah, no, that makes sense to me.
It does. And look, there's
just
that slight thing of being stopped on the way there to have to say that he's going to arrest him would have been enough time for Mace to kill him.
Yeah. Or like people be like, "Oh, wait, okay, yeah, take these clones, that'll help you arrest him." And at that point, the clones would have helped them arrest him.
Because the order hadn't been called, yeah.
Well, the thing is, there was another order.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so everyone's like, "Oh, how come the Jedi didn't know about Order 60?" They did. Okay, Order 66 was the order that was built in that was like, the Jedi have gone rogue.
Yeah.
And it was built in for a good reason. I think it's Order 65 or Order 67, which is the Chancellor's gone rogue.
Okay, yeah, fair point. Fair point.
So don't listen to him. So like, if like 6 clone troopers have busted in and been like, "We're here to arrest you," and he's like, "Eh," and May's could have been like, "Yes, execute Order 65, arrest this motherfucker."
It would have worked, yeah.
But you know, that's the point.
Yeah.
That's the point. The point is that Mace was beating him.
Yeah.
That was legitimately the truth.
That was clear.
Mace was beating Palpatine. Palpatine, if Palpatine had been playing it the way people say he was, he would have been like standing there being like, pretending to be in the place of weakness.
Yeah.
But not. He was in a place of weakness.
Not getting...
He would have been like, "Anakin, help me. Look, the Jedi attacked me." If things had gone the way he wanted them to go.
And wait for it.
He would not be lying on the ground being like, "I've electrocuted myself."
Yeah,
No one wants to be electrocuted.
He 100% wouldn't look like a scrotum later on.
Exactly.
Why would you want to look like that?
That is... So, Mace probably could have beaten him if he hadn't had his arm chopped off. He was nowhere near as powerful as him in the Force, hence why he couldn't stop the lightning without a lightsaber.
Yeah.
But in terms of his battle prowess, he was better.
Oh.
And he also probably could have beaten Anakin if Anakin hadn't like blindsided, chopped off his arm. Oh. Like if Anakin had just been like, "No," and then started fighting, Mace probably still would have been beaten because he would have been fighting 2 Sith.
Yes.
But yeah, in terms of was Mace beating Palpatine? Yes, he was.
100%.
There's no question about that, because as I said, if Palpatine is as smart as everyone likes saying, it's like, no, that's why he let that happen. He's too smart to let that happen. Because a smart person who can plan it out to be like, "And I'll be lying here electrocuting myself when he comes in,"
would be sitting there just being like, "Haha, oh wait, hang on. No.
That person's also going to be able to plug in the thing that's like, wait, what happens if, like, you know, when he's running out, something happens that's beyond my, you know...
He trips, falls, and knocks himself the fuck out. That would be another situation.
What happens if he gets pulled over by fucking Coruscant security for speeding in his speeder? What happens if... Or, you know, for a random breath test or whatever?
Yeah, but if he's looking at changing, he wouldn't... Not even looking at changing. With what he was trying to do, I don't think he would have pulled over either way.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because that is... Oh, he gets chased by the security, lands at the fucking Senate.
True, yeah.
Being chased by security. The Senate security are like, excuse me, what the fuck is all this? There was so much that could have happened that could have slowed him down momentarily that would have led to Palpatine's death in that situation.
True, yeah.
No way did Palpatine actually want to be in that situation.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
as I said, I can also guarantee you that if he was up to him, he wouldn't have had Anakin trounce over the 3 dead Jedi Masters to get there. Because, again, that kind of like, hey, powerful evil guy.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I just killed 3 of them. Because, like, everything Mace does there is technically wrong.
Yes.
Like, the Jedi do not... Anakin was right. The Jedi do not kill their prisoners.
Yes.
But Mace was also justified because literally the 4 that went to arrest him, 3 had literally been struck down in like a second and a half.
True.
So it's kind of like, oh, yeah.
This is now self-defense.
Well, he's kind of like, you know what? If he can do this to 3 Jedi Masters, do you think he can be held in a prison?
Well, true, yeah. Fair point.
Like, yes, the Jedi do have prison that can do that, but you've got to remember the other Jedi, like, they were the only Jedi Masters on Coruscant. The one that they really needed, he was off on fucking Kashyyyk.
Yes.
Another one who probably would have been uniquely set at fighting Sidious,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan. He was one of the only Jedi of the modern world to face a Sith.
Yeah.
Was also off planet.
Yeah, true.
Gayande Mundi, another good fighter, off planet. Plo Koon, off planet. He took the council that he had. They were killed. It was like, okay, we were the 4 most powerful Jedi on the planet.
Yes.
He took out 3 of them. He was pretty justified. But as I'm saying, Palpatine, not as smart, did not want to be in that situation. Just from the pure fact that that's a bad situation to be in, because there's so many things.
Situation.
What happens if Anakin was like, I've got to go, and Padme was like, wait, hang on, and then just all of a sudden she started having like baby-related cramps. Do you think Anakin's rushing off to save Sidious when his wife's like dying in front of him? No.
Oh.
There were too many things that could have gone wrong.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
So that was not the situation he wanted to be in. And then Yoda came up, and the fact that Yoda could stop his most powerful attack, Sith Lightning, an attack he thought was so powerful that he did not need a lightsaber anymore.
True, yeah.
They were just like, and then shot it back at him. He was like, oh shit, this guy's legit.
Yeah, oh, shit. What?
So,
Yeah.
both Mace and Yoda could have beaten him. So, all I'm saying, the whole point is that if all these other Jedi were around when Luke was going to face him, them being there could have helped.
100%. Definitely, actually.
And that's why Ahsoka Tano should have been killed off during Rebels.
Yeah. I think it's justified.
I think it's more than justified. I think it fixes one of the greatest plot holes in Star Wars, in the current Star Wars, which is like, oh yeah, Anakin's apprentice survived.
Yeah. The one that trained directly with it. Who knew how he fought and everything.
And apparently never once met Luke Skywalker, the Rebels' new Jedi, even though she was a Jedi working for the Rebels, because at that point she knew that Vader was his father.
That is true.
Because she knew that Anakin Skywalker became Darth Vader. So she could have told him, which could have saved us a whole lot of getting hands cut off on Bespin, because that wouldn't have been a surprise for him.
True, good
He
point.
would have known. It would have been like, okay, so I have a little bit of a thing to tell you. Your dad's Darth Vader. He may use that to try and put you off balance, but don't let that get to you. Just, you know, we're gonna work through this because we don't want it to be a big shock for you that you get your hand cut off.
That would have made 3 people that knew that information but didn't tell him.
Lots of people.
Yeah, okay, fair point. Yeah, loads. But 3 main ones that should have come in contact. There was definitely 2 main ones that came in contact with him.
And Palpatine.
Oh, yeah, true.
Like Palpatine just being like, "Yo, Vader, who blew up my Death Star? Luke Skywalker. Your kid did that. What the fuck, man?
I didn't think that happened.
Get that shit under control."
Go kill that motherfucker now. Then it wouldn't have happened.
Because Palpatine knew.
He did. He fucking did. God damn it.
Point is, there were a lot of weird bits in Star Wars, but yes. No, Ahsoka Tano, unfortunately, you know, she may be your favorite character. She should have died before ever being able to meet Luke Skywalker, because that fixes a whole lot of problems.
Just for story.
Now that we've had the Mandalorian where she's actually talking to Luke Skywalker, and everyone's like, oh yeah, but she's his superior. Well, yes, she has been a Jedi a lot longer than him. and she's probably more battle trained than him. But we can say on two limiting factors that she's actually not a better Jedi than him, which is one, she never beat Vader.
True.
And two, and this one's really big, when the entire balance of the galaxy was in the tipping point and the Rebel Alliance was set to be destroyed, she decided she had other things to do.
Yeah. No, that's a fair point.
God, it's lucky that Vader grew a conscience in that second.
Oh, I know.
Because, you know, Luke was by himself, being electrocuted. It was done.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, oh, if only we'd had another, you know, skilled, trained Jedi. Probably who uses 2 lightsabers, who could have, you know, helped. Just saying.
No, we don't know.
Just saying. Anyway. I think the long end of that rant is companies. If you're gonna buy a name, so that you bring that audience to your product.
Yeah.
Don't piss off that audience and then be like, why are you guys so angry at us? All we did was take something that you love so that you would come and watch it, and then absolutely pay no attention to it and say, fuck this is gay.
Pretty much.
I'm gonna do it my own way because I can do it better. Oh, like, the original fans don't like that? Well, they can all go suck it. Well, then why the fuck did you spend so much money bringing them to your product?
Oh, yeah.
But, I digress. We've been here long enough.
Indeed. We're almost out of drink.
Chris is really starting to smell, guys.
I had a shower before I came here.
He's gassy as fuck.
I know.
Anyway, guys.
Done it once.
Anyway, guys, that wraps us up for today. If you have enjoyed this video, the show, I don't really know what to describe this as.
The podcast.
I like that. If you've enjoyed the podcast, consider liking, sharing, commenting, or subscribing if you haven't already. It really does mean a lot to us here. If you want to see more from Chris, check out the rest of the channel. We play a whole variety of video games.
Yes.
Averagely.
Yeah, it's
what we do. We're borderline. We're borderline.
Yeah.
We also have other episodes of the podcast where we often get sidetracked, like we did tonight. Funny how
Very much so.
Funny how saying the Minecraft movie led us on a whole rant about Halo and Star Wars.
We do well.
This is why we plan nothing out. But guys, until next time, I've been Darcy, he has been Kris.
Indeed.
And we'll both catch you next time right here on the channel.
Yes.
Really hope you enjoyed this one, guys.
Yeah.
Felt like I got a lot off my chest.
Feel like you did.
Just saying.
I know.
Jedi Strike team.
True.
Anyway, guys, see you later.
See ya.